Introducing my newest sponsor. I'm just kidding. And that was stupid. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to an episode of CSGO News. As always, time marks for every story are down below in the description for all of you, but our first story today is also down below, a full video for all of you brought to us by a guy named Sky, who actually offers a whole new perspective on the whole cheating scene and how these cheats, these aim locks, these wall hacks all work. It's a great video. I want you guys all to check it out, and why exactly I want you guys to check it out is it offers a whole new viewpoint, a whole new perspective for all of us out there who are believing people like Dan M, MoTV, and Freakazoid for what they say on their videos. Now, many of you guys probably do not know about this video. This guy actually calls out all three of those following people, Dan M, MoTV, and Freakazoid, for saying things that simply weren't true in their videos. Now, many of you guys know Dan M released a video about Stewie2K cheating months ago. It went viral, several 100,000 views on that, and a lot of us actually sided when we first watched this video. We sided with Dan M because it did look suspicious what Stewie was doing. Then a couple weeks later, MoTV and Freakazoid and all these other pro players post reaction videos. MoTV in particular, his video did very well, and all of a sudden everyone swayed their opinion and started believing in MoTV because what he was saying made sense. Now this guy, Sky, actually released his video, again that full video will be down below for all of you to watch, about a perspective, and actually goes on to state that many of the things that Freakazoid said as well as MoTV were simply not true, and all of us were taking that to heart. We said, oh, that makes sense, it must be true, and he goes on to say that although all these videos and all these content creators are good people, and that's why I like this guy Sky. This guy Sky obviously loves all these content creators, but he just goes out to say that what they're saying is not necessarily all the time true. So feel free to watch that video down below for all of you guys. He does a great job explaining why Dan M was wrong, why MoTV was wrong, and what Freakazoid said was wrong as well, and he goes on to explain why that is, because certain aim locks, certain wall hacks obviously all act and work differently, and so what MoTV was saying was not necessarily always true. So we need an overall arching point for all of you guys as to why to watch this video. When you guys watch reactive videos out there, just because they sound professional, just because they have experience, does not always mean they're telling the truth or know what they're talking about. So don't take it to heart and don't always believe what people tell you. So hope you guys all check that video out, and now on to more CSGO news stories. Thank you again to Sky. It was an absolutely well done video. And moving on to more controversial topics out there, which I really don't agree with. The CSGO community has been kind of on a rampage lately. We had Dignitas finally announced, as they've transitioned over from a Danish organization now to an official North American organization with this roster change. They actually acquired the entire selfless female roster from Ryu over there. A really emotional moment because we had Ryu release tweets. Apparently these girls really do miss him already, so they actually released that video and also a tweet as well announcing their full roster change. So yeah, Dignitas has announced their female CSGO team before their male CSGO team, although just for all of you guys who want to know, yes, they've stressed several times they will be announcing a new North American male roster sometime soon. Now this was actually obviously met with a lot of controversy out there. We had the Dignitas female team actually release a video on YouTube. I'll show you guys that on screen right now. It was faced with a lot of, terrible comments as well as poor likings, poor dislike ratings as well, and it kind of really struck a nerve with me because it's really terrible to see. We really could go on a full video about this in a rant, because as of right now we have an option for the future of CSGO. We can either welcome a female CSGO side, or we can tear it down until all the teams don't want to play anymore and they don't find it worth it. Now what we see as of right now is a very, very distinct rampage on our side of disliking all female CSGO, and I really could go on a full video about this, but all I have to say is this: there are many professional sports out there, a vast majority of them, that have female sides to them. One in particular, we have NBA basketball. There is men's NBA and there is WNBA for women's. There are other several sports out there. You can go into soccer, you can go into track and field. They always separate men from women. So why can't we just all agree that women can belong in esports and CSGO as well? That's what I want to talk about. I know all of you guys in the comments are going to say something like, well, girls aren't near as good as guys in CSGO or any esport. Well, it goes the same way for almost every single sport out there. And I don't mean to be a hypocrite whatsoever, but many women out there will admit that, hey, some guys and most guys are just better. When you get to the top tier and the top professional athlete out there, whatever sport it is, most likely a guy is going to be better than a girl at that sport. It's a sad truth, but many girls can admit that, and I don't understand why girls still can't have their own professional sports within esports as well, and we should not be tearing that down. So congrats to Dignitas, a new North American organization. The only question left as of right now is for their male CSGO team. Who will they sign? What North American male pros are out there right now that are in the top tier of North America that are still available? I really can't believe as of right now their new roster is going to be anything significant, so it's going to be cool to see what they announce in the future. But yeah, female CSGO. I'm sorry, I just support Juliana. Like, she has a future no matter what she does, because she's awesome. And before we get into the long segment for today, where I break down IEM Katowice, so far it's been a remarkable tournament to watch. A lot of upsets, a lot of great games so far as well. I do want to touch on, though, for Australian CSGO fans out there, we do eventually going to have an ESL event coming to Australia sometime soon. With this video released on their YouTube, it actually hypes up an event. We're not really sure what event's going to be. Most likely going to be like a larger LAN event like ESL New York, probably a couple $100,000 prize pool. We're not sure where it's going to be hosted at inside of Australia as of right now, but they released this hype up video for all you Aussie fans out there, so it was really cool. Let me show you guys a quick clip of that right now. And for our last story today of CSGO News, I do want to share with all of you the current situation for IEM Katowice. So this will be a spoiler, a little segment for all of you. So if you're watching IEM Katowice and haven't watched today or yesterday yet, please don't watch this. I'm going to be spoiling the standings for all of you because Group A has concluded and Group B is going on as of right now. So if you guys have not watched that, it's going on as we speak. So please go and watch that. I'll update you guys on the current situation for Group B. But as of right now, we do know that Group A has concluded. And yes, OpTic Gaming went 0-5, the bottom of the group. They went winless throughout their entire maps. Now we could say a lot of these best of one matchups, they do call for upsets. OpTic had very close matches with Immortals, Fnatic, the rest of the group as well. Their biggest loss was to Immortals by 8 rounds and then Fnatic by 6 rounds. Besides that, though, their average loss was only 3 rounds. So a lot of these matchups were super close for OpTic, just not their tournament, not their time. They went 0-5. Now, NIP, also bottom of the barrel, did not do too much better. They went 1-4, and their only win was to OpTic, a very close matchup there. I think like a 3-round loss there for OpTic. So NIP still not doing much better. They go 1-4, and then Fnatic closes out the bottom 3 here. These 3 teams will be going home. To some surprise here for OpTic and Fnatic. NIP not really much of one. Fnatic actually started out this group stage going 2-1 and then lost 2 in a row to not be able to go through. If they would have won at least one of those, there would have been some sort of tiebreak or at least a chance for Fnatic to go through. They lost to Astralis in overtime 19-17, and then they lost another close matchup to Immortals 16-14. So Fnatic, one of those teams going into this, looking quite strong. Unfortunately, they did not go through. Before I move on to our top 3 teams in Group A, which was actually kind of a surprise here because they all tied each other, I do briefly want to touch on NIP and the OpTic situation. Many of you guys calling for changes to these rosters. Ever since NIP lost to Vega Squadron in our major qualifier, people saying Pith has to go. His injury causing him, obviously enough pain where he's not what he used to be. Get Right also performing not too well. I saw a graph of Get Right's performance over the past year or so, just steadily declining, and many people are thinking NIP needs roster changes. Now, OpTic is faced with the same feat here. Obviously, they trade Stanislaw to Liquid. They get Hiko as a current stand-in player who is just going to be temporary, along with a new coach edition, Peacemaker. So OpTic stuck in a situation where they're dumping tons of money trying to fix the team. They lose Stanislaw. They're looking so great at the end of 2016 and obviously not looking so great now. They don't make the playoffs for our last major, and now they're going 0-5 in group stages. A broken team here, and we knew before the tournament going into this with several interviews as well as in the latest episode of OpTic Nation, Mixwell said going forward, here's the problem for OpTic. They have Hiko as a temporary player, but as of right now, we're in the middle of ESL Pro League season, and we're also in the middle of contracts. Everyone is contracted out for the top tier North American pros, which we assume OpTic will try and retain that North American majority. As of right now, if OpTic wants to make roster changes, there is almost no one they can pick up. Either they're gonna have to go for a big buyout in the middle of ESL Pro League season. It's a difficult time to be OpTic and a North American team in general. So going forward, guys, who knows what OpTic will be for changes, and NIP as well. Fnatic still looking strong. This now brings us to our top 3 of Group A, which actually kind of conveniently they all tied each other. In this kind of round-robin system, a 3-way tie is actually supposed to be a rarity. All 3 of these teams, we had FaZe and also Immortals and Astralis, all go 4-1, and they all lost to each other, meaning that FaZe beat Immortals, then we also had Astralis beat FaZe, and then Immortals beat Astralis. So that meaning there's going to be a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker went to 3 best of 6s. FaZe actually won out, so FaZe will be your top group. They're actually going to automatically go to the semifinals, with Astralis and Immortals going to the quarterfinals. So that was Group A in conclusion. I know it's a lot of information for all of you guys. Feel free to replay that segment. So that's where we sit as of right now in Group A. Unfortunate for a lot of teams there. Now on to Group B. As of right now, me recording this, here's where Group B stands. So once again in Group B, also we go back to the Atlanta Major. Navi starting out so well here. They are 2-0. Cloud9 is also 2-1. They just lost to Virtus Pro about an hour ago. They were dominated by Virtus Pro 16-4 in Mirage. Besides that, though, Cloud9 and Navi do lead out your groups here. And more importantly for all of you, we do have the rest of the teams here, including Heroic, all at 1 win, as well as North, who's looking quite strong as well. North is playing Navi as we speak in this current current time. That match will probably conclude at the point of you guys watch this video, so please do make sure to go check the standings yourself. And we also have, more importantly, SK and Virtus Pro both playing right now at 1 and 2, and the loser will not qualify. If you go 2 and 3 in groups, it's almost guaranteed. I think it's 100% guaranteed. If you only get 2 wins, you will not be able to advance into the playoffs whatsoever. So as of right now, Virtus Pro and SK are playing each other for that knockout spot, and they'll be playing that knockout spot throughout the entirety of the rest of the group stages, whoever even wins this matchup. So Virtus Pro and SK both have hard matches going on throughout the rest of the tournament. Definitely what I would not have predicted, because if we go to the final of this tournament, and we go to a best of 5 final, you do figure that teams like Virtus Pro and Astralis will be your favorites. So if Virtus Pro can't get there, it'd be kind of unfortunate, but also kind of lucky for all these other teams who are actually in the tournament themselves. So hope you all enjoyed this episode of CSGO News. Kind of a weird episode. I really don't ever update you guys on tournaments enough, so I hope you guys all enjoyed that. As always, please leave a comment down below. I'll reply to like the first 20 comments. You guys are awesome. Also, make sure to follow my Twitter. I'm doing a lot of giveaways almost every single day, doing giveaways for all of you. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. I need to actually do a chair unboxing video soon, so I'll do that sometime this weekend. Remember, I like you.